Welcome back to We Are Live, the Midcoast Studio Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Excited to be here. It's Chris Denman, joined in studio. You know what? He's from Scoops with Danny Mac. He's from Game Time. His name's Jeff Jones. What's up, Jeff?
And also MLB.com.
As I was coming out, I was like, biggest credit should have went first.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
MLB.com as
happens.
Well, man. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's been that's been an interesting set of stuff. We were talking about this out in the kitchen there. You know, for the most part, that's uneventful, right? You're covering a team that's there for a day. Their beat person. Well, but this is a shocker. The MLB.com beat writers, and they take their vacation days. They skip St. Louis sometimes.
Weird.
Right. Who would imagine that the
Nobody
writers...
wants to go to the City Museum?
Yeah, they're right. Like the writers from L.A. and New York are like, St. Louis, take that trip off.
We're good.
Have fun. But
that's kind of rude. Wouldn't you go to Milwaukee? Like, there, that's fun. Like, if other cities, I don't know. I would skip
Milwaukee.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. I'm not going to Pittsburgh. But so I was on the Phillies last week, or when they were here. It happened to be on them the day that David Montgomery passed away.
So wait, so you fill in?
Yeah. So when their beat writer doesn't
Yeah.
travel or isn't available or whatever, I'm the fill-in guy.
Right.
And
you have to feign journalistic integrity.
Yes,
for a
basically.
day.
Right. I have to be responsible to an editor for like 4 hours. It's a whole thing.
Got it.
But yes, I was on the Phillies on Wednesday when David Montgomery passed away. So it made for this very awkward situation of the first time I met Gabe Kapler. I'm in the visiting manager's office
for the
at Busch.
Phillies.
Yeah, trying to melt into the wall as he's like tears in his eyes reading text messages off his phone from a man who died horribly from cancer that morning. Who's like the voice of the city and like born and raised in Philly. Like started the team as a ticket salesman and became team owner and club president. And this, beloved man passes away, and I'm just there like, hi, Gabe, nice to meet you. How's Odubel Herrera hitting?
Oh, no.
A little awkward.
I'm
Not the best.
so sorry about that, Jeff. But
be sorry for the Phillies.
A kind soul like you, at least.
What can I say? We got it done.
Hey, Jeff, we've got Tommy the intern. Have you guys met?
We have met just now.
Give him a handshake.
Here, look at that. It's a nice firm grasp.
That was good. Okay.
I am really
handshake.
By the way, I didn't want to let this slide. Earlier, local comic Kate Barton said the handshake is the new JFK.
I saw.
That was pretty good.
What's the new JFK? Like, what is the old
JFK? Like, the Zapruder film.
Oh.
Like, yeah, we were reviewing it.
Yeah, so I will say, while I do miss old Sugarfoot, I think it's funny that as he's gone, we've now replaced him with the skinny white man he always was on the inside.
Oh, wait a damn minute. Look who just showed up live from Hipsterville, USA. It's Marvis Morell.
I'm glad you boys got back to the show. A whole 14-minute break, I'm sure, was absolutely necessary.
Were they teaching you how to operate Elmo right now?
Yeah. Get your hand up as keister.
You don't speak of the Sesame Street Workshop. You shut your mouths.
All right, that's enough of you. See, yep.
Gardner loves this. He can play God, and he's the voice of God with no camera now. Gardner, would you say this is the most important role you'll ever play besides father?
Oh, I will never play father. That will not be
You ever hear an
happening.
actor say that?
No.
Other than father, or other than mother, this is the most important role I've ever
Would you
played.
like to play my father, Gardner?
Travis, what do I say?
Travis.
The drops.
Lokisha.
Yep, there it is.
Enough.
Travis, we've got
Grow
Jeff
up.
in studio. Tommy's here. Tommy's an Illinois boy, just like Jeff.
What part of Illinois?
Granite City.
Granite City.
Yeah.
Okay, I was Belleville.
You know what
Yeah,
they say about the ladies
the
from
Belleville.
Granite City?
I do.
I don't know. What do they say about the ladies in Granite City?
Path of low resistance?
Yeah.
God.
That's
Trav,
My
you wanna-
girlfriend is from Granite City.
Where'd you go last night?
I went to
Place
the
called the Tool Shed?
tool shed.
Yep, that'll do it.
Price Center.
Gardner, have you ever had to do, or had gotten to do maybe, I don't know, a nice outdoor skate at the Namioki Park skating rink in Granite City?
No, I've been by
What
Nancy
just
Park.
happened?
Well, here's the
Why is it
thing.
named that?
I don't know, but that
Oddly
is what it's
Japanese.
named.
I don't think that's a big hangout
The thing
for
with
the
the
Japanese.
skating with the skating
Hey, man,
rink
when
in
y'all
Granite
done
City.
talking about them weak-ass Illinois cities, let me know.
Oh, he's got to use the bathroom, and he's acting like he's peacing out. Yeah.
Oh, where's the wine? Gotta go get more wine.
Right, yeah. Bill Collector's here. He'll be right back.
So the rink in Granite City is outdoors, and the issue is that because sometimes the steel plant belches toxic poison into the air.
Ken Bone let me know about
It
yeah,
shines.
it is
It
not
shines.
the best place to get your wind if you're out there skating around for a long time because you're sucking down the copper.
You can see the little metal shavings in the ice.
That's pretty true.
No. Oh, no. This was kind of a funny gag, but what's happening with Travis? Is he okay? Is he okay? What's
Shirt
happening?
unbuttoned?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what,
I think
Trav?
he just. Do you have something hidden back there that we should know about?
No, mind your damn business, man. Get back to the
He
show.
was out real late last night. I wonder if
Is he
somebody came
excusing
with him.
someone? Are you giving away a gift basket? Is there a We Are Live
Oh.
sticker in a gift basket? What? What's that? Who's he? Oh, oh, call me. Okay.
Travis, whose dining room do you live in?
This is my abode. Do not disrespect the Brooklyn, okay?
Oh,
I'm sorry we don't have those little cookie cutter apartments in that stupid city of St. Louis.
you do, actually. In
I
Brooklyn,
was
you
gonna
most
say.
certainly do.
I
Kind
saw
of a
you
lot of
tweet
that.
about it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's one place that's not gentrified, it's definitely Brooklyn.
Yeah. Wow. What does what's the texting situation? Has Travis returned
He
any of your
still
texts?
hasn't returned my text.
Tommy ain't sent me one damn text. Don't make him. No, don't do that.
Here's-
Tommy,
so-
I wanna
Travis
get a-
doesn't like to pay attention to me. No one gives me a hug. He's never texted me.
I have to. It's because you didn't give me your number. I Facebook messaged you.
So he
You
just
want-
gonna,
here.
y'all just gonna sit up here and just let him lie on the
Can I
show
pull
like
up Travis's contact on my phone and just hold it up to the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please,
yeah, that'd be great.
please, yeah.
that? I
Hold on.
wish y'all would. Boy. Ooh, okay. All right.
Here we go. Travis Drell joining us live from New York. Jeff, he covers little hockey,
see it.
little baseball. Wow. Okay, so you're being more private than I'd hoped. Blues, St. Louis Blues. They're a hockey team here, Tommy.
I'm aware.
Big win. Do you have season tickets?
Now you have season tickets to the Cardinals games.
Granite City's a hockey town.
That's true. Big win last night. Travis, I don't know if your elitist ass saw it, but the Blues tied up the Western Conference.
I did
final.
check it out. I did check out the game last night, and I
With your
have
white
to say I'm glad everyone hasn't burned down the city after they were crying on over the weekend about the Blues' chances in the series. There were so many people online that absolutely wrote this team off after 2 periods, and wow, here we are heading back to St. Louis with the series tied at 1-1. Who would have thunk?
Travis, I'm surprised you didn't go into Manhattan and watch the game with Tom Ackerman at whatever that bar was that he was at.
Oh, was he really at a New York bar watching?
Yeah,
the
are
Blues
you
game?
are you going up to Bethpage this week for the PGA Championship?
No.
They are playing the black course.
Is Tiger going to be able to make it? I see Tiger is being sued for killing one of his employees, so I wasn't sure if he's
What?
going to actually make it up to the U.S.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I did see him chipping in a skull cap yesterday. So.
Oh, nice. Do you
Did he
guys know?
really-
Do you guys know about this story? From what I read, the suit is alleging that Tiger Woods has, as the owner of a restaurant, he is being personally sued along with his general manager for allowing a culture of over drinking to happen. His employee, who his parents are stating that the restaurant knew he had a drinking problem, overdrank, and they're alleging he was overserved at said restaurant, drove home on his own accord, and then killed himself in a drunk driving accident. Very sad, but then personally suing the business owner and the general manager for the choices he made.
Is this his place in Jupiter? Is that the restaurant?
I don't know exactly. It's
I believe
around
it
that
is.
area. Yeah.
And the general manager actually is the girlfriend. It's Tiger's girlfriend who runs
that
the
who that is?
restaurant. Yeah, that's
Makes
who
so
that
much
she's
sense.
the. Yeah,
She
that's.
worked her way
but
up.
yeah, it really does. I
a
mean,
long
it
trek
isn't
from
as if
Perkins.
the owner of the restaurant doesn't have a history of bad DUIs. So I'm no lawyer, but I would imagine that restaurant's going to be somewhat.
I think if you're a lawyer,
there's-
you start at the money and you work down from there, right? Like
That's
you see
why.
Tiger-
That's
right.
Let's be honest. That's entirely why.
Right.
If this was somebody else, they may not implicate them.
No,
but
I wouldn't go that far. I think in this
You worked
case,
at a
we've seen
bar.
cases
You've
like
managed
this
a bar.
before.
You
We
know
worked
how
in
people
bars
get housed.
before.
Yeah, I think if you were like a
We worked in
franchise
bars
owner of
where
a
this has
TGI
happened.
Fridays and you like, I think if you're a franchise owner of a TGI Fridays, one of your employees got drunk there and drove home and died, you probably would still get sued. I think it
Off
probably
the
happens.
clock.
Oh, absolutely.
Off the clock.
I think it probably
Absolutely.
doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. You're making
No, I'm with
choices
Jeff
to
on
do
that
that.
one. I've seen several cases, even in the state of Missouri, when I was bartending down in Columbia, where the third party liability is absolutely in play, and it's not just because he's Tiger Woods, but it makes sense if this guy had a history of drinking, and I think his blood alcohol level was almost 3 times the legal limit, and you knew he had problem with alcohol.
And if he was getting comped too, I assume. I mean, I don't know, but I would assume that like the
That's
manager of a
probably how
restaurant
he
is
ended
not
up with
paying
so
for all his
much
booze at the
alcohol in
restaurant.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come no one told me that you could sue a bar for getting you drunk?
Yeah, that's kind of my mind.
Trav, if I was gonna set up a sting operation on one restaurateur in St. Louis to get real drunk at his restaurants and drive home, which one would that be?
Oh wow, I actually like the restaurateurs in St. Louis.
Oh, I thought you were at war with one.
I would. Too many.
Come
of my
on,
liberal
Trav,
friends
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah,
rusty.
too many of my liberal friends enjoy their establishment, so I wouldn't bring them down. But yeah, I know. Yeah, Jeff really put me on the spot. I had to stop it.
Come on, Travis, say it out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys may have the right thought process, but when it comes to real life, we see people make these choices. You see people do that. Again, I'm not saying there shouldn't be some awareness, but at the end of the day, I've just seen too many jackasses. Maybe he's taking pulls during his shift before it even started. Maybe they served him 2 drinks. I read an article, but I just would want to know more. And to me, it seems like a lawyer is probably behind this, and that's how I would tend to think. And if it's that way, it's that way. I get it.
Yeah, they'll settle it.
It's MAGA Woods, so anything to bring Tiger down.
Thank you for the admission.
But that's Presidential Medal of Freedom, MAGA Woods.
Yeah. No, and Travis, you did it right there. You let everyone know you have an agenda with what you're saying, and at least you're being honest about that.
So I'll no longer try and make sense of it.
And people can make their decision based on that. That's all you can do is be honest about why you think what you do and the information you want to be true and want to opine on. And that's a fair way to do it. I applaud you for doing so, sir.
No, and not only to think about that, but I mean, Tiger's going to settle. They're not going to go any further. He's not going to. He doesn't want to give a deposition at all. So
yeah, he's got insurance. He's indemnified. That's how the whole thing works.
Yeah, they're going to get a nice little 9, probably a nice little 7, maybe 8-figure payday out of this, and
because the guy got hammered and drove.
So I won't ever question.
Yeah, but also
grief.
died. Like,
I mean, this is an interesting thing because if it doesn't involve Tiger Woods or him drinking at the establishment he worked at, you're calling him selfish. Not you. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I disagree that this is Tiger specific. The payout's bigger because it's Tiger. I just think this would happen to any restaurant owner.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would think
I agree.
You guys wouldn't be this soft on another drunk driver had he killed somebody on the way
I don't know if
there.
I'm soft. Like, yeah, he died. That sucks. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know what soft means. He's just
I'm saying
Chris,
you need to put more personal responsibility.
You're telling me that guy wasn't
may not appear to be. He could have.
He was at a place where he worked, and it's very likely, of course, he knew the bartenders, he knew the staff. They knew he had a drinking problem, and you're telling me that guy probably wasn't overserved?
I don't know, because maybe he was drinking before he went up there. Maybe he was taking pulls off of something. For all we know, he got a drink or 2 from them. I don't know. It didn't say in the article that you didn't read, so I'm not sure.
I don't know anything about this. I'm just saying in general, restaurants get sued and people die. That's sort of the reason the bartenders cut people off.
There should just
That's
be
why
some
third-party
personal
liability exists.
That is the reason
and it's
bartenders
bullshit
cut
a lot of the
people off.
times. If you see somebody ripping shots at a bar, I'm not saying it shouldn't be looked at, but we all know the people that take it too far, and any person can make that choice to get behind the wheel. It sucks.
Yeah.
It really does.
But you're not getting cut off because the bartender is concerned about your well-being. You're getting cut off because the bartender doesn't want his place of employment to get sued when you die on the way home.
Which we live in a town where I've rarely seen that happen. So I don't know. I guess I'm just a little more, I don't know. I guess I just see it. I feel like it's more based, like I just see too many people jumping into that. And it's like, I don't know, should the bar have to pay out millions of dollars because somebody chose to drive?
Yeah, but it won't. They'll pay out a little more in their insurance settlement. They'll settle for $800,000 or whatever, and that'll be the end of it.
Certainly possible. Hey, let's make fair or foul great again. Topic today, a white guy playing a black woman character in a movie. Email wall@weareliveradio.com. We're going to give away a free massage to Soulshine Barefoot Massage Therapy to the winner today. That's a hell of a prize. Let's get a bunch of great submissions in. Jeff will help on the judging with that.
I did. I wanted to congratulate Travis. I know that when he goes away to New York for the summer to develop scripts, it's a long and it's a hard process, and a lot of work goes into it. I did not expect you to get LaQuisha from page to screen so quickly.
Yeah, that was good. Jeff, thank you.
Jeff, I was saying yesterday, it's for a lot of people who've done films or tried to create films and get it distributed. You know how difficult it is to get funding for those things. So I am a little bit jealous that the guy was able to get funding to put together such a terrible movie. So that was my biggest complaint, was that someone decided to finance this project.
Well, look, I'll say this.
Do you think they own a boot store?
Probably. Travis, if you chose to
look
steer
into
into
that.
it,
Jingle.
What?
Can I sing the jingle?
They have a jingle?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't. Yeah, we're good.
I'll sing it after the show.
that's
Okay,
that's
good.
closer to a free spot.
Right.
I think Trav, if you leaned into the grift, if you decided that you were gonna be like MAGA Trav, you could probably get
Right.
financing for a lot of your project, right?
No, I agree. I agree.
If you went
Yeah.
Candace Owens, you could probably make some money real fast.
You jump the line, that's for sure.
Trav will be at the bar drinking Cavassier at the Trump.
Yeah. Travis, may I? You've just signed on to work. I respond, we got one, boys. That's how it's responded.
It's a 2-hour train from where you're at right now down to the Trump Hotel. It's a 2-hour train and 10 minutes in an Uber. Get a red Elmo hat and just stand at the bar. And as long as you face away from it and it's red, you're good.
Man, the offices of Sesame Street are literally right around the block from Trump International, and every time, it's so interesting to see other New Yorkers walk around it, because it's like a huge trophy of shame just in the center of beautiful uptown Manhattan, and it's like when you see people walk around it, every New Yorker just drops his head, and you just see them shaking their head no matter at what point of the day. Everyone's like, I can't believe this eyesore is in front of us every damn day.
One thing I'll say about Chicago is that they hated Trump way before it was cool, because they hate that
True.
damn building. They've
True.
hated that building since the building went up.
I went there 2 years before the election, and people were protesting outside of that building.
People
so-
hate that. And honestly, I like the building.
Yeah.
It's a cool looking building. I really do like the building.
Because
It is
of
a
The
nice looking
Apprentice or
building.
what?
No, because
I
it's an
have no
ugly ass
idea.
building that ruined
Oh,
the skyline.
the skyline,
They think that
okay.
it's not
Right.
in the classical style of the city,
It
and
doesn't
also
fit in.
it
looks weird.
It's also the only building in downtown Chicago, if you notice, that's got a sign on it. None of the Chicago architecture has signs on the buildings, but
Got it.
he can't not have his name on it. Now it is lower; it's 30 stories lower than where he wanted to put it at first.
Okay.
But the apocryphal, maybe or maybe not true story about that building, right? He was planning it on 9/11, was in a planning meeting, and it was supposed to be a 190-story, tallest building in the world sort of building. He's watching 9/11 happen on TV, and he's cut it in half.
Are you
is
serious?
the story of
He's
the
like,
Trump
that'll
Chicago
fix it.
Tower.
Oh my goodness.
And
I did
that's-
not know that. That's insane.
And that's the first the building that sticks out when I did the riverboat architecture, or not riverboat, but river cruise architecture tour in Chicago, and it definitely is not. I mean, it's you could see it's there.
Yeah, it does not
It
blend
looks like
in.
Yeah.
it looks
It-
like one of those e-cigarette things.
It does.
But
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
but when you learn about the history of the different buildings and the architecture of the different buildings, that one is not significant at all, really.
No, it
there's-
just kinda
it's
looks cool.
Oh, okay, it's got different levels.
It looks like Oscorp.
It does actually a little bit. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
It does.
The Avengers
It
Tower.
does.
Oh, by the way, Trev, as we do Avengers, because we're officially out of the Avengers safe zone, right? The spoiler zone. Trev, you seen it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
read this theory. Let me know what you think about this one. The Avengers Tower becomes the Oscorp Tower.
That would be really cool.
Oh,
That would be pretty
I
cool.
don't know what that.
Yeah, I think Chris and
That
Chris
would
are
be
bored.
really cool.
But
No, I just
we
wanted-
lost
I-
everyone.
I love Marvel stuff. I just haven't
I wanted
seen
to try and be involved, so I just did that.
Are they bringing that character in? That'd be cool.
well, because the new Spider-Man movie is coming out, that's the next, the next generation, Gen 4 or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm trying to get caught up. I missed most of the first MCU movies, so now that I've seen all the Avengers ones, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch these old ones. I watched the first 2 Iron Man movies this week, and they were boring as shit. They're not good. The first Thor movie, pretty okay. So we're making progress.
That's pretty good. Jeff, I kind of want to circle back if it's okay.
Circle.
We were talking a little bit about the Blues. I don't
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
that too.
specifically go into the game, But I do want to go into the psyche of St. Louis sports fans, and you deal with them on a daily basis. I see you on Twitter from time to time. You actually engage in intellectual conversations
help
about the
myself.
sport. But I was, again, we were talking about it yesterday. I was kind of annoyed, especially being up here in New York, how such a defeatist attitude that St. Louis sports fans can have. And I noticed it game one. And again, it wasn't a great performance from the Blues. I'm not excusing that. And Tarasenko was a ghost. We didn't see anything out of him in that game one. But at the same time, considering where this team was just a handful of months ago, and seeing where they are right now, less than 3 wins away from getting to the Cup. Why are sports fans in that city so defeatist when it comes to their team?
That
Cut his feed.
You bastard.
Cut his feed. I understand. Okay,
set up
let's
to get
just
to
play
that
it.
city.
No.
Let's play a
Go
game.
fuck yourself.
Yes, thank you. Let's play a game. Let's play a game where Travis is trying to set up Jeff for a really great, thoughtful
You had a
response
good question.
based off of things he deals with on a daily
Oh.
basis. Let's play a game that maybe that's what he was doing. No, it was all to make it about you and be a narcissist once again.
You had
Mark,
a good
welcome to the
question
show.
going.
East Coast bias.
So why do you St. Louisans react that way?
The answer is because it's always been bad, right?
I have a theory as well.
If the Blues win one more game in this playoff series, it'll be tied for the most playoff games they've ever won in a given year. They've never won more than 10 games. Since 1970, they haven't been within one win of making it to the Stanley Cup final. That was in '86, right? So there has been all of this failure over and over again. I heard someone make the point yesterday, which I thought was sort of smart, was look, if for years St. Louis sports fans have been living with this sort of gloom and doom and dread about the Blues, and that doesn't work, right? It's not like being negative makes them more likely to win, and it's also not like being negative makes you feel better when they lose. You just get to feel shitty the whole time. So why not instead just be positive about it? Figure they're going to ride it out, and if they lose, they lose. But it's not gonna feel worse if you're optimistic and then they lose, because it already does feel bad to be pessimistic and have them lose.
If I may.
I feel like they're playing with house money. I feel like this team specifically is playing with house money.
A little bit.
Because I don't think
that
anyone
helps
in
too.
January, February, then I don't think anybody thought they were going to be the final four teams left in these playoffs. So I think if you were a Blues fan back in February and they told you this, they would have been over the moon with where the Blues are currently. So to see how defeatist people were during game one kind of threw me by surprise, considering that everyone was making the Gloria videos and kids around St. Louis were wearing their favorite Blues jersey. It felt like the energy was so positive to see everyone go so negatively so quickly when there's so much hockey still left to be played.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of up and down in the playoffs, right? But the other thing, too, I think that you're right, that if you look at this team from January until now, that you would be surprised that they were here. But if you went back to June and took a snapshot, or July, took a snapshot on July 15th and said, hey, this Blues team is going to be tied 1-1 in the Western Conference Final, guaranteed, and you didn't tell me anything about the path to get there, I would go, oh, okay. That would be sort of at the upper end of the expectation curve, but it would be yeah, okay. They made all the moves, and that's where they should be. That sounds right. It's just the path has been so unusual.
Travis, if I may, the best thing about sports in this city is congruently the worst, given the Blues' history. Jeff nailed it on the head. They've just never done anything significant. So but they've stayed loyal because there's not a ton to do here. They've stayed loyal while across the street, you have the second most winningest franchise in a sports history. Tommy has yawned 17 times in the last 30 seconds, and it is amazing.
Well, I do think it's interesting in that the Blues and the Cardinals have opposite problems, but the same problem.
Well, don't you think that every Blues fan, 90% of Blues fans are Cardinals fans?
Yes.
20% of Cardinals fans are Blues fans.
I think it's probably more than 20 if we're counting right? I think maybe 20% of Cardinals fans follow the Blues day in and day out. But I think that 80% of Cardinals fans would say that they're Blues fans.
Oh, they don't have
to get
another
to this point.
team.
Right, to this point in the season. I think that look, Cardinals fans are frustrated because the team wins so often that they expect dominance all the time.
Yeah.
Blues fans are frustrated because the team never wins, and it feels like they're never going to get there. So it's two sides of the same coin, but it's the shared anxiety between them, right? And I think that, I think that's part. And then maybe
Sets
not a
up
big part.
unrealistic expectations for
does.
your other sports teams if you have the second most in the history of a game.
And I think if you are a crossover Blues and Cardinals fan right now, maybe if you're talking about that game 1 against San Jose, was bad timing because the Cardinals were in the middle of a really shitty week where they were going 2-5, and so sports fans were already down from the Cardinals. This is silly, but it does affect people's attitudes. The weather was
I agree.
terrible last week. People were really bummed out that it was 45 degrees and raining for the entirety of the second week of May. And I think people were just generally around town in a shitty mood, or I was, so I assume everyone else was as well. And so it contributed to maybe some of the negativity. But there also, I think there was definitely a sense of here we go again, right? Because the Blues, it's San Jose again. It's a game in San Jose. And it just the ball never got rolling in the right direction, and the Blues played a pretty poor game, and that frustration showed out. And also, I was talking to Chris about this a little bit in the break. The Blues have not lost a game yet this postseason where they've played well. They have not had one game where they played up to their standards. They played, they have not had a game where they played even a B game and lost. And so that's good in that it indicates that when the Blues play up to their level, they have not yet had to, they haven't had that painful loss yet. But it's frustrating in that they've played now, what is it? 7 + 6 + 2 is 15 games in this playoff series, and they've played poorly in 6 of the 15, so 40% or whatever. That part is frustrating.
As
You got a little bit of a feed issue.
At you.
I'll take some time to tell you about Tommy Bannister. He's with Circa Properties. He's from right here in St. Louis, Missouri. He's here to help you through the real estate process, and you'll have some fun along the way. That's Tommy Bannister, Circa Properties, here to help you. He's got a whole team behind him. He'll make the home buying or selling experience as simple and as efficient as possible.
Chris, you mentioned Tommy Bannister and Circa Properties. I'm curious, does he operate in Illinois? Does he have business on the Illinois side?
He certainly can.
So if you were a person living in Belleville whose property value has just cratered,
Maybe you
or
need
if
to
you
move
were a
over
person
here.
in Belleville who was looking to invest, you could be able to do that with him, which brings me to Gardner. What the hell happened to Lindenwood?
Your alma mater.
I never
Well,
graduated.
You're
from
attended of.
I think
attended
that's still
there.
your alma mater.
Yeah, sure.
there. Yeah.
They wrecked my town, Gardner. They bought up all the houses.
They don't claim me, so
They built all the dorms,
that was nice.
and now they're leaving them.
Yeah, I don't know the whole story. I haven't read it completely. You guys were informing me on what was going on there. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Travis has had enough.
There we go.
There he is.
So I don't know all the details.
And admittedly, I don't
can't
either.
sit here and defend it or go in on them
I know
without
they're-
knowing everything.
So we have a
they're
small
canceling-
town in the metro area that
Medium
So yeah,
Medium
decent sized
town.
town in the metro area.
Medium.
A college sets up shop in the best part of the historical area.
So the college got the former high school. So the old Belleville West High School, where I attended for 2 years before they opened the new Belleville West, was sold for $1 to Lindenwood for them to redevelop it and turn
Like
it
the
into a college
Louisiana
campus.
Purchase.
It
Oh,
was
wow.
very similar, yes. And Lindenwood, in turn, bought up 50 houses in the surrounding area. They built, I think it's 2 new dorm buildings. They rehabbed an old crappy motel into a dorm. They bought up all these apartments. They bought a ton of real estate in the area, which was great in that it drove out maybe sort of a less than desirable, aspect of the town, but not great in that by collective action they managed to buy up all these properties for really low values, which then cratered the value of everyone else's house, right? Because if the 50 houses in your neighborhood have all sold for $50,000 less than you wanted to sell your house for,
Generally
really
not
hard to
good.
get comps, right? Really hard for your property value to increase. And so now Lindenwood is canceling all of their day classes in Belleville after the 1920 school year, which I assume means they're not going to need all the student housing or the cool candy striped football field anymore. Everyone's going back to St. Charles.
What's that turf gonna do?
Rot.
Maybe we can get it.
ask them if they would sell it to us.
Oh, Wall Field.
I would buy the Lindenwood campus for $5.
Sure.
They would quintuple. What the hell is that? Pentuple? Their investment.
Five
Quintuple.
times?
Quintuple. That's quint.
What they paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget
That's
that.
an investment.
I'm going to need to maintain that property tax exemption, but otherwise,
Yeah.
If you would have just lived in Granite City, none of this would have happened.
yeah, but I would have extra limbs.
Actually,
Have you all ever counted his toes?
I don't. I think
no,
that's a violation.
No, different
of sorts.
different mutations for me.
Let's break into this. Travis, you're.
Oh, could I ask one hockey question to Jeff? Because he's gotten some emails lately.
Oh, I have got a little heat.
That's where I was going.
Oh yeah, I was curious. I saw that online the other day, Jeff, and I'm glad we got you in for you to fill us in on what's been going on in your email.
I'm going to show an email he got, and then we'll find out why he got this email. So here's the email.
No. I want Tommy to read this.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Gardner, is that all right?
Of course.
Into the mic.
right.
Into the mic.
No one gives a fuck about your pathetic story, you fat fuck.
It's good.
Since when did your opinion matter about Joe getting a cup? I'm assuming you've never played a man's game, you fat sissy.
Clip that off,
I
please.
despise fat fucks like you who think they know the game of hockey and sit behind a desk and write opinions on people. Get over yourself, you fuck, and shave your so-called beard. Looks like an ant trail of shit on your fat
He
face.
spelled trial.
An ant trail of shit on your face,
Trial.
you sissy boy.
Gardner, now you play the part of Jeff Jones.
Thanks for reading.
The only thing that upsets me is that Jeff responded back at a normal time. What time did that email come in?
It was.
It was a normal time, or was it at 4 a.m.?
It wasn't a 4 a.m. because
Okay.
it came in between like the Cardinals clubhouse opening and me getting upstairs to the press box.
Oh, okay.
So, but now, granted, that would have been pretty early on the West Coast, where I assumed that it came from. So
I
it
gotcha.
probably came in. Yeah, it probably came in at like 9 o'clock or so on a Sunday morning, Central Time, so like 7 a.m. Central on the West Coast.
Travis?
Jeff, I have a confession.
You wrote that email.
That was me.
Big Joe Thornton fan, huh?
I got really into the white wine here in Brooklyn, and I
That
kind
would-
of got carried away.
That would make sense
Sorry.
because I tried to look up the name of the person on Facebook, and it was honestly mostly women that had this person's name. Like the first name is Devin, was the first name on the email, and so when I looked it up, it was Devin, and it was a Hispanic last name, and it was a lot of women. So couldn't quite find. I wanted to find the guy because I was guessing he was probably also a little bit of pudge happening there. But alas, I could not.
That's rude to assume.
We exchanged a couple of emails. We had some back and forth.
Really?
There's
Yeah.
more to this
Oh,
story.
so you edited it to where it looked like that's all you wrote?
No. So that at the time was all that I wrote. I said thanks for reading, and then when I got back, I was like, only the fucking title, you fucking sissy. And then then he said something along the lines of like, can't wait for you to come to California so we can slap you up or something. And I said thanks, I'm totally accepting donations for airfare. And he declined to give me money.
Damn, that's too
I
bad.
tried.
How did
Shoot
he
your
decide
shot.
to give you money?
Yeah, I think he said I'd rather buy more tickets to watch your Blues get slapped around or something. I could probably find it. Hold on. I'm
Now-
sure it's in my email.
Now, real quick, you said Devin, not Delvin, right?
Devin, yes, it was
Okay.
not Delvin Perez.
I thought it could have been Delvin Perez, Cardinals shortstop.
No, if it was Delvin Perez, he would have missed.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, nice. Well done,
I also
Jeff.
like this. So this guy, the CBL subject was Big Joe, which like it's not his name. It's Jumbo Joe. That's the nickname. He already
This
has
is
a
about
name.
Jeff wrote an article about Joe Thornton being a bit of a dirty player. I
I
believe
did.
I read it.
And what I wrote was that basically like there's this league-wide assumption that everyone wants Joe Thornton to win a cup.
He's a veteran. He's
Yeah.
been an elite player for a long
but
time.
not fucking everybody. Like not people who he's concussed or anyone in St. Louis, right? Like,
Pardon my ignorance, but does he play for the Blues or another
the
team?
Sharks.
I'll play for the Sharks that are
Sharks,
playing
we
the
were
Blues right
playing the
now.
Blues,
Mhm.
yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, the title, you sissy, and get off the donuts and come to the base so we can slap you up. Then I said, happily accepting donations for airfare. Thanks for looking out.
Here's my Patreon.
Yeah, basically. I should have given it away. Then it was, I probably would, but I would rather pay for another ticket to watch your sissy Blues get their ass kicked again and again. Besides probably a snitch anyway. That's how which isn't the right
snitch.
word there. And here's where it gets good. That's how your East Coast people are. Just the wrong word.
Yeah.
Just a fat hater from the East Coast. To which I will show show the camera, and I will show you. This was the last thing that I sent him via email. Was just a GPS locator map of where I live, which is not that close. You know, it's the east coast of the Mississippi River, I guess.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
But yeah,
I guess east from wherever he is.
it is east. I assume that this person is
There's
in
a
the Bay
coast of
Area.
a river.
Right.
We are the mid coast even.
But the thing is, like, you know, I've written a fair amount of stuff. I occasionally will get the errant tweet about it. Like somebody was, I've never gotten an email. Never.
Yeah.
And I got like a dozen emails from Sharks fans.
That's
like
funny.
really cranky
Is
people.
this the worst you've ever gotten?
Yeah, that's
far
probably
as-
that's the worst one. Yeah. It's the only one I've ever gotten where there was like threatened.
There's a lot on the
violence.
line.
Right.
People are a little more
They're- yeah.
guarded about their babies.
They like and that's the thing is like, look, it was not the gentlest tone, and the headline on the post was Joe Thornton deserves nothing, which I maintain. I maintain you can read it in two ways, right? It's either Joe Thornton deserves nothing, or Joe Thornton deserves nothing, and the way
That's
that
how
you
they-
inflect it is up to your perception.
Right.
But they do understand who wrote the piece. Like, I'm not saying that you're.
I mean, it was published on
stlouisgametime.com.
stlouisgametime.com.
Right.
Why are they even
exactly.
looking
So
there?
I don't understand.
Twitter
It wasn't like
searches.
you went
Yeah.
on NHL.com and you wrote that piece. It's
Right.
something that you wrote specifically for your audience, mainly Blues fans.
I mean, right? That's like, yeah, that's who the piece is for. It's whatever. Like, and it was funny. I had a conversation with Chris Ranji about this, where he was like, "I don't know why you're blocking out the names of the emails," and I was like, to be honest, like, because it honestly doesn't bother me. I'm not worried
Yeah.
that Fat Devin's
Right.
going to show up and slap me around. Like, I'm not that concerned about it. But like, I feel like if I posted the names, then I would be like inciting people to like,
Yeah,
go, right,
I
like,
agree.
don't
I
care.
like your way
I
better.
just don't care. Like, these people don't bother me. I'm not going to San Jose.
All it takes is one, Jeff. It just takes one Sharks fan, and then the rest of them kind of swarm as well.
There's a
Because
little blood
then-
in the water?
Yeah, the blood is in the water. They see the rest. They come at you. All it takes is one InfoWars guy to retweet your poll. The next thing you know, you got InfoWars people in your mentions. It just happens. All it takes is one.
Taking
All-
a play out of Travis's book and making it about yourself. That's great.
Wow. Good. Hey, he's learning to pay attention.
Do we
You
know?
tell me.
Does InfoWars broadcast from New York? Is that where their studio is?
Austin, Texas.
the guy I know
Oh,
is in
that's
Austin,
right.
yeah.
That is right. That's never mind. Because I was gonna say that Trav could probably, now he has connections, can go down there for a little weekend copywriting.
He could become a correspondent.
Maybe
I never sucked any ding dongs.
Oh no, he can't.
Maybe I should intern for
Infowars?
InfoWars and bring it back and let you guys know how it is.
The really interesting, like
God.
there's money to be made in that grift if you get it on the right level. I know a
Look,
guy.
I know everything
I'm a
about
reformed
UFOs.
liberal, and my name is Tommy Mosslander. Next up on Infowars.
So I know two people that I met through like college debate who are professional right wing grifters now. Like that's their gig. They have Patreons and they have YouTube channels, and like they were always kind of weird assholes when I knew them. I didn't think they were like this kind of weird assholes. But one of them, and Trav, you'll appreciate this. One of them is a black gentleman who goes by Robert Romney, I believe is his right wing.
Oh, really? I
grifting name.
think I've seen his Twitter
Yeah,
handle. I think I'm
Robert
familiar.
Maxwell is the guy's name. Yeah.
Right.
And this was a guy who, like, when I knew him in college, got evicted from like 4 different apartments for like stiffing roommates on rent. Like, he'd just move into a place and be like, no, I'm good this time, and then not pay rent for like 4 months, and they would, he had a whole thing going
Now
on.
he's espousing Republican.
Right, but like
views,
he's
I
been a
guess.
professional grifter for as long as I've known him, right? So this is not at all shocking to me that he has found a new one that just happens to make him more money. So Trav, if you want to get into the supplement game, they're waiting for you.
Man, if times get tough, I'll just screw it. I'll just go join ISIS or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if we want to say that on
I
the
don't know
live
if the
stream.
money is probably as good as in the ISIS. I don't know. That,
And Gardner has clipped it already.
There it is. Travis, what's before we get to fair or foul again? Your topic: a white man playing a black woman in movies. Again, I see no problem with that. I will just say I want to know what's going on in New York with you today. What's the update?
Today is work day, man. Today is we had a very cool session last night with had the opportunity to meet the head writer of Sesame Street, met the CEO of Sesame Workshop. So we met many of the executives responsible for basically our childhood. So that was really cool. So today we are, or at least I am, working on one of my pilots that at the end of the program I will officially introduce to the executives at Sesame. So my day is writing, reading, and more writing. I may get out and check out some sites if I have the opportunity. But today's a work day.
Now, Travis, you say today is the work day. It is 10:52 where you are.
All right.
So you mean like this afternoon is?
He goes in the evenings, don't you?
Well, I have to wait on this dumbass show to start, so
Oh.
it is what it is.
No,
half
I
the
hear.
time
Like
we start
I
on
was
time,
kidding. I hear
then
you.
we
I
got a
just
20-minute coffee break, and then we have a 40-minute bathroom break, and then we have a 60-minute smoke break, and then Chris has to fix his bang because he got to get to talk to Chris Sear for 20 more minutes to interrupt our. No one has any care for my time and effort here in New
I
York.
do.
I'm trying to turn myself into a reputable individual. Hey, is he on my face? Hey, get off my face.
Gardner has replaced Travis's face with his own as a
Pipe
large
down in that city.
middle.
we should get Gardner a Travis mask, and so
Ooh.
occasionally he
Oh,
just
yeah.
pop up on front of
blackface.
I ain't about that
Nice.
LaQuisha life. No,
Blackface.
thank
I
you.
like that.
Travis, I have a serious question.
Oh, God.
No, it is
Yes.
a serious question. So you said you get to write your own pilot and pitch it to the executives at HBO and Sesame Street. Is there a chance that'll get picked up and you'll move further on and have to stay in New
That's
York?
the whole point of this thing.
Oh, so he might get to stay in New York?
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
particular fellow.
You made it about yourself.
I did.
Every fellow will have the opportunity to present at some point at the end of the program. And one thing I am learning is that development deals don't always mean it's going to see the light of day, but that they do give you the opportunity to fully flesh out your script, the pilot, make multiple episodes if they are offering you a development deal.
They also
But,
come with a salary.
It does indeed. It to get paid to write, which is, I think, every writer's dream. So to have the opportunity to potentially even create something is a really cool opportunity. So yeah, everyone's going to have the same opportunity to showcase their ideas. We got an idea. We got a chance to see everyone's idea last night. I will say these are some of the most talented screenwriters I've ever had the pleasure of being in a room with. We were talking, got people
You were in a
who've,
room with
again,
me.
one of the guys was a writer. He produced a film that's already appeared in Tribeca. Another guy, he's got a master's degree in education from Harvard. So these are very impressive screenwriters who are creating some really cool things that if they were to ever make it to air, it would be, I guess,
Big deal.
as Chris Gardner would say, game changers.
I am curious. Do you feel like you're going to get a rose at the end of this?
I like my chances. I thought I had to give 3 presentations yesterday. I had to present 3 original ideas to Sesame Street yesterday, and just based on the reactions in the room, I got some positive feedback. So I like my chances as well as anyone. I think a lot of the fellows have more credentials than me. They've been doing it obviously a little bit longer than I have, but at the same time, I'm very happy with the stories that I've been able to create because I think ultimately I like them, so I think other people will, and for me, that's enough.
Let me ask you, if unlikely as it may be, unfortunately it doesn't break your way with the pitch meetings, is there a chance that you could be cast as Bill Hader's wisecracking urban sidekick on Barry?
Ooh.
Oh my God, that show's the best thing I've ever seen.
I haven't seen Sunday's episode. Don't talk
Oh
about it.
my God.
Geez, I mean, when Barry's one of those shows, and we were talking about this with the other screenwriters, just like it's one of those shows where you're just like, damn it, I wish we were in that writer's room, or
Yeah.
damn it, I wish we came up with that idea. It's just such a brilliantly written show. Gosh, to just even be an intern on that show would be a cool honor because
Oh,
You should
those
pitch
are
a
some
reboot of
real-
the newsroom.
7
I mean,
people
those
just talked at
the
once.
right,
Hang
like
on.
you're talking about Alec Berg. You're talking about like some people who've created some of the best comedic television shows in history. And Barry, I think, is on its way to becoming one of those shows like Curb, like Veep. Like when we look back in a few years, we're going to say, "My God, this is as close to a sitcom masterpiece as we've ever seen."
Tommy,
What's up?
you were saying?
Oh, yeah, maybe I should go and try and get an internship at Barry. If only to meet Bill Hader.
Jeff.
I mean, Bill Hader. I'm
I
so
got
happy
nothing.
for Bill Hader. I think Bill Hader is one of the most talented individuals in this industry. Like he can do it all. He can.
Keith
He's
Morrison
a great
impersonation?
performer.
Romantically with Amy Schumer and LeBron.
Have you guys seen
that movie sucked.
the new It trailer?
No.
With Bill Hader?
Oh,
Yes.
is he in
Bill
it?
Hader's one of the
Bill
grown-up
Hader.
kids in it.
Oh, that's cool.
He plays the smart mouth one. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He's gonna get eaten by a clown, probably.
Damn.
not that one.
You guys want to do some fair or foul?
If you guys would like to, we can do that.
Huge prize today. Free massage to Soulshine Barefoot Massage Therapy. Real quick before we jump into fair or foul, big thank you to Getaway Golf Carts, customized without limits. Big thanks to St. Louis Pet Once West. That's right, Lynette, Nick, huge thanks for supporting our show. Big thanks to Tech Electronics. Thanks to Impolite Company, Yale Hollanders Podcast, all of you. What is happening here? Why doesn't he care?
You saw his ass.
I thought we were going to see a butt.
You saw his ass.
I thought we were going to see a butt.
Oh, I didn't know you guys are coming back to me. My bad. I didn't realize you guys are coming back to me so
Are
quickly.
we
You were doing a commercial?
disturbing you today? Like, Gardner, are you? I feel Travis feels put off by his 2-hour commitment.
I'll talk to the
live
partners.
stream
I'm
it.
going to talk to the partners of the show. I don't think Travis gets paid for today. That's what I'm going to
Think dock his
Yeah.
pay.
Man, I know y'all ain't talking to me. Y'all get the damn ass 20-minute smoke breaks.
Yeah, as long as
40-minute
as long as
lunch
your
breaks.
camera's on the screen, you're clocked in, bud.
We were.
You got time to lean, time to clean, mister.
Don't
Hey,
matter
You're
what
gonna
I
have to start-
do.
you
I
guys gotta
remember-
start paying me New York rates here in a minute.
I remember back when
Good luck.
you were still here and I was just an intern on the couch. You would make the breaks longer yourself.
It's true. Tommy learned like on his second day that if Travis hits the bathroom at 7:52, we're gonna be 10 minutes late starting the live stream.
Where's Travis
One
during the
day-
break? Oh, he's laying on the couch. Ready to go, Trav.
One day I watched you get here, sit in the chair as the thing's playing, and then immediately go into the show. You were here for maybe 45 seconds.
It's called being a professional.
What? No!
not.
Don't note that.
No.
So don't unwrite that down.
I didn't write it down. I haven't written that stuff down for a while.
No! He's drinking liquor. Oh.
Look, hey,
Called being a
Travis,
professional.
Oh,
Travis,
no.
I was here early today.
Oh, no.
I was ready for the show.
Oh.
These guys were ready for the show. They had to take care of
I
their
wasn't
guests.
really ready.
Oh,
I'm wearing pajamas.
no.
I didn't sleep in these clothes, but I could sleep in
You
these
could wear that to
clothes.
the ballpark, to be fair.
Yeah, different pants. Probably the Nationals gym shorts wouldn't go over that well.
Yeah.
So Travis, pipe down.
Wow. Listen to that.
Go to
word
hell, Tommy.
motivation. All right.
What's that?
Let's do some fair foul.
Now,
Uh-huh. Travis?
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul?
they asked me on the
Is it a
train yesterday,
segment?
in fact.
They didn't
Is
ask
it
you
a
shit.
movement?
No, they
Is
asked
it
for
hope?
quarters.
I can't say for certain.
And he's like,
Time
no.
will be
Hey,
a
man,
proof
it's fair or
of
foul.
its power. But I can say, fair or foul is now and forever
Did you trade fair
for
or
the
foul for
people.
Streetwise?
Gather around the radio with your
Waiting for
loved
the day
ones
somebody
and hold
says
on to your
or fall
butts.
in.
It's now time for
Travis is
fair
offering to make it racist. Comebacks for
or
sale.
foul.
Forget about it.
Hey, tequila farts, you ready? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is embarrassing.
Here we go, guys.
What a show it's been. Let's finish it off and give away a free massage to Soulshine Barefoot Massage Therapy. You guys ready? Topic involves
Let's do it.
Travis's new favorite film, LaQuisha. Yes, fair. Yes, I realize LaQuisha is one of the worst premises for a movie ever. But when you compare it to the documentary being made in the St. Louis area about the reverse situation, you realize it can be way worse. Wait, you guys don't know what I'm talking about? Well, there's a sweet lady named Donna who happens to be black and for years has been playing a character on the radio named Bob Romanek.
Shut it down.
Hold on, I want to. Who was this?
This isn't done. It's the only explanation why he's still on the air. The FCC has investigated the complaints, and by cultural rules, she can say that word. It's like Chappelle's Blind Klansman. Sketch come to life, only this time the blindness is actually a John Burroughs tuition bill. Like the movie. Here's money for the... So LaQuisha doesn't sound that bad now, right? The JVL Jackal.
Oh, God.
That's
Ooh,
strong
strong.
to quite strong.
Do you want to keep it going?
Yeah.
If we must.
Travis tuned into Bob Romanek before he left. Why?
I didn't tune in.
Well, how'd you hear
I
him?
was literally flipping through stations.
Broadcast 1.5 miles from my house, by the way.
Fair. Throw in a. There you go. Fair. I mean, it's not really a good thing to do, but I'm always entertained when some Jordan Peterson quoting asshole who once read the Cliff Notes to Atlas Shrugged. Jordan Peterson. I love that Sierra hates him. Atlas Shrugged goes apoplectic and yells, "But what about the movie White Chicks?" If I tune in one more time on Dish and there's not a white entertainment channel, I'm boycotting. When you say this might be problematic. Also, God damn it, come see Impolite Company with Kenny Kynes, Ella Fritz, and Brandon Judd this Friday night at the Crack Fox.
No thanks,
$10.
Chris.
ImpoliteCompany.com. That's Chris Sear, everybody.
Stealing Yale's bit now.
Yeah, right? Yale's under his employ. Is that how it works?
Deployment.
Who can think about fair or foul when one is focused on finding a new home for the Coffee Break Comedy Showcase?
Well, there it is.
Speaking of Yale's bit,
Do you really need a new home, Yale? Talk to me. It's creating a lot of tension, particularly in my back. If only there were a means of resolving at least one of these problems. That's good. That's the best read you've ever done, Yale. Soulshine. Prize for today. Foul. Okay, we get it, Gardner. We all know you're willing to lie down on the casting couch to get the role as Aretha Franklin in the 2020 biopic, but we all know that role is Keke Palmer's TT Spink Guy.
That's good. I like that.
Two more. Foul. Obama era gave us Lin-Manuel's Hamilton, so I can only imagine the Trump era would produce something along the lines of Adam Sandler's Harriet Tubman. That's from the Black Sheep.
Man, you gotta look. We gotta cut that out, man, because we can't put that into the universe. I don't want Adam Sandler getting any ideas.
Right this way.
he's got to fulfill that Netflix deal
God.
somehow, and he is out of ideas. He's got like 9 more movies for Netflix.
He
Follow
does.
me.
He has like a 14-movie deal with Netflix. I feel like on that 8th movie,
He's out of steam already.
Yeah.
He's in
A
trouble.
musical hip-hop Harriet Tubman. I'm gonna be quite angry.
The problem is, too, Harriet Tubman, it would be found that she had a twin brother named Harry, and he would play both roles.
The Digital Underground Railroad.
And you still know Chris Rock will be in that movie.
Right, yeah. Hey, checks ain't going to cash themselves. Finally, that was from the Black Sheep. Fair. I don't know about movie roles, but boy, do I wish a white guy had been playing the role of the black lady at the DMV rest yesterday. Could have saved myself a half hour and 6 eye rolls. That's from Chris Hansen's. Chris Hansen's Lemon Square.
6 eye rolls.
That'll do it for Fair or Foul today. Guys, who is getting a massage from Soulshine Barefoot Massage Therapy? Tommy, you vote first.
You said Tommy or me?
No, there was a sound,
there was
and
a
Chris.
buzzing.
There was a buzz.
We just let everyone. We just let
Tommy,
Chris
who
take
you
it.
vote
Jackal
for?
was the first one, right?
JVL Jackal
Yeah, him.
with Romantic, Mr. Gardner.
I'm partial to the JVL Jackal.
Whoa, Jeff, will you turn the tide?
No, it's an above average content day in general, but it's JVL Jacqueline and Romp.
Mr. Travis, do you want just to vote for the hell of it?
I am going to go with Kamala Harris.
There you go. That'll do it for Travis Stroh live from
TT's
Brooklyn.
been canceled.
He has been.
This is a Buttigieg
He
show.
has
Trav.
been canceled. He has been canceled. See, when you clap, it does it. That's right.
You know what? You should do that impersonation again, but let Stacy into the studio when you do it.
I will, because I work with her on a daily basis. How many black women do you work with on
Sure,
a daily
you
basis?
say that from that city.
Yeah. I'll show her what you said about her city.
Well,
you know, she had 5 offers in different cities.
Calm down.
And she stayed here,
Calm down.
unlike someone else.
Calm down. Calm down.
The prodigal son, Travis Sherrill.
All right,
Pro-
do we have to
prodigal?
add that to sentence of the week
Yeah, I'll put
now?
it on there.
Prodigal son is never going to get pronounced right by Travis, so we may have to
Travis,
end
say
sentence of the week.
prodigal.
Proshional.
Guys, that'll do it for the show today. Check out Jeff Jones' work, scoopswithdannymac.com, MLB.com. Game
Good to see
time
you, Jeff.
For
You see you
all
too,
your
Trev.
hockey needs, Jeff at JM Jones on Twitter.
At JM Jones on Twitter, stlouisgametime.com. Buy your game time outside of every Blues home game, starting on what the hell is the next game on Wednesday night for Game 3 against the San Jose Sharks. Also, Thursday night, Center Ice Brewery, we're going to have a watch party of Canes Bruins Game 4 because then everyone loves that. But also a meet and greet with Greg Wyshynski of ESPN. He's your senior hockey writer. He's going to come out and have some beers with us on Thursday night at Center Ice Brewery.
Nice. Hit them up. Be sure to support him. Tommy, you got any shows this week?
No.
I didn't plan that very well. Come to Southtown this Thursday. We've got Free Comedy Thursday. Jovan Bibbs.
You can do
He
both.
already conquered New York. Yeah, that's
the hockey
right.
game is before
Hockey.
the comedy. You can do
That's
both.
right. You can do both. Jovan Bibbs headlining this Thursday at Southtown Pub. For Chris Gardner, Tommy the Intern, the great Jeff Jones, and for Travis Terrell in New York, it's We Are Live. We're back tomorrow on the live stream, 8 a.m. We'll see you then. See you, Trav.
Bye, Trav.
Peace.